Once upon a time, I was a thought. Only a dream and a distant idea of what you imagined me to be. I was a vision, formed on the basis of your greatness. And when I was conceived and manifested in your sight, you breathed into me this life, and by your eyes, it was love at first sight. Exciting. Taking walks inside of gardens, talking for hours on end, basking in the sun's light that seemed to shine for all eternity and somehow back again. But I guess it wasn't enough for me. Because the second I thought you could not see, I allowed myself to be seduced by unfamiliar thoughts in the slick, enticing tongue of one. Claiming he could do more for me than you ever could. Allowing me to see what you said was out of my reach and convincing me I'd be what you said only you would. And so yes, I fell into the bed with the fallen. But I wasn't alone, because right alongside me was the one you took me from. See, I was a part of his body. But the one that deceived me made it quite easy to sow the same seed inside of him that had been planted in me. See, we were in too deep, a menage a three, consumed by the guilt that our eyes were now open to see, wanting to arise from this bed of lies, but the shame, it kept us down, drowning in the sticky sap juices of the fig leaves we tried to mask our sin with. And we just knew that was it. It was over. We could only be forgotten. Laid to waste, back to the dust from where we started. No longer your dream, but a distant memory. And so we hid, still covered in his bed. No longer your love, but enslaved by a separated condemnation instead. And we knew what you said. But we allowed ourselves to be lured away from your presence, idly clinging to the broken untruths that seemed so right because of that small, enticing voice that spoke lust to our soul, mind, will, and emotions, making us crave your control. And he just slithered away like a serpent, plotting to come back for the seed planted inside of me for the next generation, leaving us lonely in the midst of this forbidden separation. Like a dark cloud now came over our hearts where your sunshine used to be, but it's an entirely different burning. See, the heat of it all is so intense because of this blood turned cold by the emptiness of the sweet empty nothingness of that one who could never quite love us like you. So now we're confused and twisted, entangled in the vines of shame, guilt, and uncertainty, but knowing by the good and evil hotlines that because of our adultery, we'll surely die. But I don't want to die. Perhaps if I shift the blame, then you might spare my life.
Wow.
But until I have to face you, I'll choose to hide. Because I mean, seriously, what else can I do?